Good morning. Good morning. Looks like I'm still going to be bedbound today. My pain's a little better, but it's been a rough week. Please pray for me if you see this. I'm ready to get out of this pain and get out of this bed. So, the part two that I did that was 11 minutes, it's just not going to download. And it was the most important part of my telling. It was how I made it worse, how I invited demons in too. Because of my confusion about everything, and because there was so much spirit activity happening around me to the point where a spirit would open my front door and walk in, shut the door, and go towards my back bedroom, these kind of things were becoming too frequent, and I just didn't get what was going on. And so I made the mistake of turning on a tape recorder or a digital software. Audacity is a free one. And I asked, "Who's here? What do you want? What's going on?" And that is when things really took off. That's when I became under a demonic attack, literally. And I know this because I could hear it on playback, things that were being said. I wouldn't hear it as it was happening, but I would ask a question and then I would play it back and I would get answers. And once I started doing that, again, I was a light that as soon as I spoke, they told me that when I spoke that everybody could hear me in the ethers and that I was like a light. These were some little girls that came through first asking for my help, and I actually did send them to the light and never heard from them again. But it was a while before I did that because I didn't understand what was going on. But opening the door to electronic voice phenomena was an amazing experience. I spent several years transcribing everything I heard, trying to be scientific about it, even. I wanted to prove that there is no death. I wanted to prove that life goes on after death because I was hearing from dead people and they were telling me this. And some of them, ironically, would say, "It's dark here, it's very cold, we don't want to be here." There were spirits that I would say, "You need to go to the light," and they would go, "No, we don't trust the light, we'll burn up." They just did not trust the light. And so they were in some kind of bondage to other spirits in this dark place. And in this dark place, I would hear whips going on and people screaming. It was like hell. And I couldn't believe I was getting this stuff onto audio. I thought I was somebody special, I think, because nobody else had ever gotten this amount of material on playback. Nobody. People thought I was cheating because I was getting so much, and I really wasn't. Like playing with a Ouija board, electronic voice phenomena did that for me. And as much material as I got, and I'm talking probably thousands of pages and hours, I never really got direct, clear answers. It was always kind of a runaround. There were certain things that were clear when my grandmother West and my grandfather Garut would come in. They're the ones that actually saved me from this demonic entity that the other spirits were calling Victor. Like Victor, but they were specifically saying it like Victor. And they were all very afraid of this demon that they called Victor. And they would tell me he's going to get you. He doesn't like you. He wants to kill you. And he would say things to me like, we're going to eat you. You taste so sweet. We're going to F you and say other sexual things to me. And so one day, I'm doing another session, believe it or not. And on playback, I hear my grandfather say, I told you to leave her alone. And there's like this big wind sound, and I hear when the demon would come in, I would hear this like pig noise and a rattle noise. It was always specific, almost like a snake rattling. But then there were like these snorts and just weird pig sounding noises, which I just find that so odd and interesting because even horror movies have portrayed demons as some kind of pig. So, anyway, I'm trying to think where to go now. So then on playback, I heard that, but then I heard my grandmother West say, don't worry about the demon, Kimberly. We've taken care of him, but shame on you for becoming demon food. That's what she said. I was demon food. I was letting myself be demon food. That's what she was telling me. She was the one, and she was not a Christian when I was growing up that I was aware of. She was very active with Freemasonry. I believe that because she asked me to forgive her when I asked about this, I believe that she had something to do with my dedication on an altar when I was 3. She was a Freemason. Her husband was a Freemason, and I'm not sure where her connections went, but I know that she wouldn't have gotten the job that she had working for Lockheed Martin had she not been a higher up. And she told me that when she retired, she would tell me what she really does at Lockheed Martin, but that time never came for us. She worked on reverse engineering of alien technology, okay? And I was able to find that out. So, interesting. Electronic voice phenomena and trying to, quote, be a ghost hunter and prove these things exist, it is not worth the risk to your body and your soul. Please hear me on this. I was rescued, even though I kept doing it over and over again out of some impulsive drive that I had to do it. I made it so much worse. It was so much harder for me to recover from what I had done because of it. And the whole time they're making me sicker and sicker and sicker. Electronic voice phenomena, do not mess with it. If you're a Christian, trust me, this is not the path that you want to go down. Stop messing around with the spirit world, folks, and call on Jesus' name. You do not want to go where I went. And I'm still recovering, as you can see. I'm still sick. I'm in bed a lot. This is my 3rd day in bed now. MS is a terrible disease. And I do believe that it was brought on by demonic forces. I really do, because I felt them doing it to me. So this is probably about to go off. I can't believe I've made it almost 10 minutes. I'm going to tell you more about all this, but right now, just take this warning from me. Don't play around with things like Ouija boards, crystals to tell using crystals to give you yes and no answers and things like that. The path that it goes down is very, very dangerous for your soul. Okay, well, there's part of that. There's a lot more to come.